Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Aisha Bashiruddin, an educationist, researcher, and writer. This is the 13th presentation video based on my research on Muslim women identity in America. In the last 4 presentation videos, I discussed theme 2 with focus on the 4 generations of women, that is baby boomers, generation X, Y, and Z. In this presentation video, I will analyze the data from these 4 generations of women and look into the similarities and differences in forging identity in day-to-day practices. So stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel, and if you like my videos, press the bell icon. Let us look at the sub-themes that emerged from the analysis of data of theme 2, which is about forging identity in day-to-day practices. 3 themes emerged from the data analysis of baby boomers, which are connection with Allah, representation of their identity through physical appearance, and drawing boundaries. 2 themes emerged from the analysis of data from the narratives of Generation X, which are love for Allah, hijab as a Muslim identity. 2 themes emerged from the analysis of data of Generation Y, which are conversation with Allah and hijab or no hijab. 2 themes also emerged from the data analysis of Generation Z, which are Muslim American identity and visible versus invisible identity. Here I would like to briefly summarize theme 2, which is about forging identity in day-to-day practices. I would look at some of the similarities and differences in the identity construction as evident in day-to-day practices of the 4 generations, that is, the baby boomers, Generation X, Y, and Z. One common theme that threads through the day-to-day practices in forging identity was bond with Allah. For example, the baby boomers talk of their connection with Allah. Generation X discusses their love for Allah. Generation has conversation with Allah. Generation Z talks subtly about their connection with Allah, in which they discuss how they practice their religion by praying, listening to lectures online, and in the masjid. There are similar themes that emerge from the analysis of the data of the 4 generations, which are about their physical appearance as Muslims. The theme that represents this similarity is apparent in generation of baby boomers, where they discuss the representation of their identity through physical appearance, which is by wearing hijab and dressing up modestly. Generation X strongly feels that their hijab is their Muslim identity. Generation Y talks about hijab or no hijab, and Generation Z talks about visible versus invisible identity, which includes wearing of hijab by some of the young women. There are 2 differences which emerge from the analysis of the data One is Muslim versus American identity, and the second is visible versus invisible identity. One main difference that emerges from the analysis of the data is that Generation Z talks strongly about their American identity along with their Muslim identity, which the other generations have not mentioned. The other generations have strong Muslim identity. The other distinct finding that relates only to Generation Z is their discussion on their visible self and invisible self. Some of them talk about being visible as Muslims, whereas others talk of not revealing their identity as Muslims. They are silent about their Muslim identity and do not think that it is important to disclose it. There is subtle difference in theme regarding drawing boundaries by the baby boomers and Muslim American identity by Generation Z. The baby boomers talk of negotiating their Muslim identity by being part of the societal fabric, yet by drawing some boundaries. So they talk about drawing boundaries between themselves and the others around them. Whereas the Generation Z wants to have their Muslim identity along with their American identity. Thank you for your attention. See you next week with the next presentation video based on my research titled I Am a Muslim Woman in America, a Narrative. Until then, goodbye and Allah Hafiz.